Power is not merely found in wealth or domination over others. It begins with the ability to control oneself. The man who cannot govern his own desires will, in time, be controlled by them. He will be led not by reason or strategy, but by impulse and fleeting temptations that promise pleasure only to deliver destruction. Throughout history, the great men who rose to power, built empires, and etched their names into history understood one fundamental truth. Indulgence is the enemy of discipline, and discipline is the key to success. The moment a man gives in to his unchecked sexual desires, he forfeits his power. He becomes no longer a king, but a slave. The weakening of willpower is the first step to ruin. Understand this. Sexual desire is one of the most powerful forces in human nature. It can inspire art, fuel ambition, and even bring men to their knees. But when left unchecked, it becomes an insidious force, gnawing at a man's will and leaving him weak, distracted, and unable to reach his true potential. The more one indulges in pleasure, the more one craves it. What was once a fleeting indulgence soon becomes an unrelenting addiction, a hunger that can never be satisfied. The man who lacks discipline in his desires will find his once sharp and cunning mind dulled, his ambitions diminished by the pursuit of immediate gratification. Consider the fate of great men undone by their own desires. Rulers like Mark Antony, whose love for Cleopatra cost him the Roman Empire, or King David, whose lust for Bathsheba led him to orchestrate a murder that marred his legacy. These men were not weak, but they fell because they allowed their desires to control them. There's a hidden danger in this loss of self-control. The man who cannot master his desires becomes vulnerable to those who seek to exploit him. History is full of cautionary tales of men who thought themselves powerful, only to become mere pawns in the hands of others who understood their weaknesses. Courtesans, mistresses, and seductresses have toppled kings, ruined fortunes, and led mighty warriors to defeat. A man ruled by his desires is easily controlled. Women who understand this will manipulate him, using him to extract what they want before leaving him hollow. His focus shifts from power and achievement to mere pleasure-seeking. He becomes predictable, his ambitions secondary to his cravings. He will sacrifice wealth, status, and even his dignity for the fleeting embrace of a momentary high. Before we move on, to those of you who are new here, I want to say, if you enjoy the video so far and find it helpful and meaningful, can you do me a favor and like the video and subscribe to my channel? By doing so, you're not only showing me your support, but you're also helping me reach more men who suffer from pornography addiction, different kinds of substance abuse, and other issues that are affecting them and destroying their lives. Your energy is a powerful source that has the ability to travel through the world in magical ways you may not often think of. And your energy travels and contributes to positively helping change the world for good with a simple action. This helps me to keep making these videos, but most importantly, it helps a lot of men who are in pain and struggling in life to find a way out of their darkness and regain control over their lives. Together as men, we must help each other break free from the traps they have set in order to keep us weak and submissive to their plans of world domination. We must stand up for ourselves and stop being the victims here. It's time to regain our natural and primal strength to build, conquer, become healthier, function better, and create safer societies for our children and our women as well. I am truly grateful to every single one of you who supports this channel, and I appreciate you a lot for being a part of a better movement. If you are struggling, I suggest you save this video and come back to watch it whenever you have some extra time, at night before bed, and in the morning when you wake up. Doing this will help you absorb the practice more deeply making it more effective, and allowing you to fully integrate it into your life. Make a playlist of your favorite videos, whether they are from this channel or other channels you enjoy, and start sinking in all the information. Make that playlist your Bible and start training both your conscious and subconscious mind. This way, you will hack the part of your mind that is responsible for behavior, and you will trick yourself into becoming more disciplined. You will not regret doing this, and I can guarantee that you will succeed. Unbridled indulgence also erodes a man's spirit. Throughout history, men built civilizations, conquered lands, and created legacies that lasted beyond their lifetimes. But these men were disciplined. They knew that pleasure should be a reward for conquest, not the conquest itself. A man who constantly indulges in sex, pornography, or the endless pursuit of women dilutes his own energy, his testosterone, his drive, everything that makes him potent in the world. He becomes lethargic, indifferent to his goals, content with a life of temporary highs rather than long-term gains. Compare this man to one who channels his desires into productive pursuits, one who turns hunger into ambition, frustration into fuel for success. This man builds businesses, dominates his field, and leaves behind a legacy that outlives him. He doesn't waste his energy on frivolous pursuits, but invests it in something greater. So what must a man do? The answer is as old as time: self-mastery. Discipline is the cornerstone of true power. To control one's desires is to control one's destiny. This doesn't mean complete abstinence or repression, but control. A man must learn to redirect his sexual energy toward his ambitions. He must establish standards, never allowing himself to be ruled by temptation, never giving in to desires that do not serve his higher purpose. Women must never be the focal point of his existence. His mission must come first. He must cultivate strength, physical, mental, and emotional, and distance himself from the modern trappings of easy pleasure, pornography, meaningless relationships, and time-wasting pursuits. He must understand that to be led by pleasure is to be led to destruction. The modern world offers constant temptations, but history has shown us that civilization can easily decay if we succumb to excess. We live in a time where pleasure is constantly offered, reducing the need for self-control, patience, and wisdom. In this age of instant gratification, what becomes of a man who never has to long for anything? He becomes an empty vessel, incapable of true depth, unable to experience love. Because love itself demands restraint, sacrifice, and something higher than mere lust. Pleasure, when rightly placed, is beautiful and necessary. But when indulged mindlessly, it corrodes what makes us human. To be human is to struggle, to aspire, to seek meaning beyond fleeting sensation. We must ask ourselves, are we to be beings of depth and intellect, capable of forging our own destiny, or are we to become passive recipients of pleasure, easily manipulated, easily controlled, and easily discarded? The choice is ours. History does not look kindly on civilizations that fall to excess. They become relics, cautionary tales of what might have been if discipline and wisdom had prevailed over indulgence. Let us not be counted among them. Another key to overcoming this slavery lies in psychological mastery. Instead of fighting against desire, one must learn to control the environment in which it operates. If temptation is around every corner, then restructure your habits. Remove the triggers, replace them with empowering routines. Shift your focus from passive pleasure to active creation. Exercise, meditate, build something of value. The mind, when left idle, becomes the perfect breeding ground for indulgence. But when it is engaged in something greater, something meaningful, desires lose their grip. And most importantly, cultivate patience. A man who seeks immediate gratification weakens himself, but a man who learns to wait, to earn his rewards, strengthens his mind and spirit. Do not view discipline as suffering. View it as sharpening the blade of your will. You are not denying yourself. You are refining yourself, forging a version of you that is powerful beyond measure. We live in a world that tempts you at every turn, that whispers in your ear that indulgence is freedom. But true freedom is not the ability to give in to every whim. It is the ability to say no when it does not serve you. Do not become another casualty of indulgence. Do not let temporary pleasure rob you of lifelong power. Harness your desires. Control your impulses. Direct your energy towards something far greater. That is how you become powerful. That is how you leave a legacy. If you made it until here, leave a crown emoji in the comments. I'm doing a little experiment, and I want to see how many of you reach the end and are truly willing to finish what they start. And remember, live with honor or die a coward. Thank you so much for watching. Take care and stay strong out there.